I want to explore the topic of why doesn't anyone like me? Or, like, why do all my friends and family not want to see me? It's really interesting. I think it's only fair to include the question, why don't I want to see them? But it's really interesting because this wasn't always the case. And it just kind of started about a few months ago, maybe. I still ask to make plans with people. And people either out of guilt say yes and we hang out, and I could tell they just don't want to be here, or they just don't respond, or they dodge the question. Usually they don't just say no, which I don't appreciate. But why is this shift of energy happening in my life? And to go back to the original question of why don't I want to hang out with them? It's only fair. I want to hang out with them, but I think there's also a part of me that values the isolation because I feel like I can never really be myself without judgment. And I know a big part of that is just me needing to work through some things. But there's also a real part of it where I'm honoring myself by not putting myself in those situations. There's also a part of me that knows I'm living out my purpose. I'm not saying this is like my highest self or anything, but I'm living out my purpose and I'm being the most of use. Like, I'm getting the most use out of this vehicle when I'm able to help others. And my friends and family don't want my help. That's fine. But I don't feel fulfilled and I don't feel useful when I'm just having fun or making small talk or talking about whatever. There's something in the back of my mind that's just like, this doesn't matter to me. What matters to me? My healing and your healing, and the universe's healing, and talking about healing. I like conversation, and I still like conversation that's not about healing, don't get me wrong. But when I see people in pain, when I see my family and friends in pain, all I'm thinking about is what they need and how I can help. So, of course, I'm not fun to be around because that's what's going through my head when we're hanging out. And I can't say anything about it because they didn't ask. And they'd rather just go party. And I sound kind of like, I don't know what the word is, but I sound something about that. And I am. Because I want them to fucking try. I see their suffering, I feel their suffering, and they're still doing the wrong things. But I also, like, genuinely understand that they're just surviving and they're trying their best. And honestly, and that's why I don't say much, because I know that what they're doing, how I see what they're doing, is just my projection. What they're doing actually might be helpful for them, and in my life, it might not be. But when I'm in front of them, I'm able to really see them for who they are and honestly see what they need. I don't care how that sounds, it's true. There's just there's a different level of information coming in, and honestly, I think it's scary for people because they pick up that I'm picking up, and then I put it down. Okay, I think it's just scary. It's scary to face yourself, and I'm a reflection of facing myself. That's what I do. I face myself. So people know that. People have told me that before, and I know that. Trust me, I work too hard to do that. But it pays off. And then sometimes it doesn't. If it always paid off, then everyone would be doing it. I don't know. I just want to be the best family member, friend, brother, coworker that I can be. But it's hard. I don't want to put on a mask either. You know, what people truly need, I can't be. Because I would be shunned and ran out of town if I was that. And that's why I like to isolate. You know, I don't have an agenda with people. I don't have an agenda. But it'd be easy. It'd be easy to make friends if I did. I also don't think I'm very fun to be around. I'm just not a fun person. Because, a couple things. Typical idea of fun. It's not fun to me. What's fun to me is scary to other people. People see me having fun and they get insecure. So I'm sorry I can't have fun with you. I just want to help people. But I can't. Only they can help themselves. The goal for me is to just be there to help them help themselves. Despite the shame. Despite the. I'm not going to do my Joker voice right now. Why not? What are you afraid of losing? You want to know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker, had a fiend, and one night, there, you happy? I did my Joker voice. Okay? I did my Joker voice. Let's get back on track. You know, there's still a part of me that wants a normal life. girlfriend. I want a dog. I want to go out to the bar. I want to do all these things without getting overrun by energy. That's another big part of it. I just can't do the things that I used to do. My nervous system is too fried, it's too sensitive. I go out to the bar. I went out to the bar last weekend, and it was really fun. I felt so good. It was so fun. That's the good thing about being about that. That's the good thing about being sensitive is you get to experience all the joy too, not just the bad stuff. But when I got home, and the next day, my nervous system was just on fire. My nervous system usually is on fire because it's so sensitive. It gets triggered by everything, especially social interactions. So, I got work to do. I'm talking about all this like, oh, people aren't ready for my healing. It's not exactly what I'm saying, but it's not far off. And I understand that that's kind of delusional because I got so much work to do. Like, I'm not healthy. I'm getting there, but I'm not healthy. I can be, but I'm not healthy. Or am I? The whole idea of health and not healthy is kind of besides the point. Just wonder if I got some work to do before I'm able to show up how I want to these people. And I think that's true. I believe that. I got work to do before I'm able to show up how I want to these people. Okay? The question is, in the meantime, how do I show up to these people? Do I not bother them? Not keep stimulating things in different ways? And when I hear that, I get kind of sad and depressed because that would mean isolating more. Peaceful, yes, but there's a part of me that's worried that I could live my whole life like that without any progress. And that's why I go out and do things, because I'm worried that all that isolation will be in vain, that it will be for nothing. Like, okay, let's just control everything. Not really control, but like really dial in, not stimulate my nervous system, not talk to people, not go out, just focus, breathe. Not that like controlled, but I'm just saying like really retain your ojas, retain your energy. Just simple life. That's what I'm saying. Live a simple life. But I'm worried that like that isn't going to heal me, and that's where I'm exposed because you shouldn't do anything for the results. It's not exactly true. But I'm just saying, in this instance, you shouldn't live a simple life because you want something out of it, because you want to get healed, because you want to get healthy. You live a simple life because a simple life in itself is what you want, and it brings you peace. These are all things that are true, and it fulfills you, and it makes sense. That's the biggest thing. It makes sense to live a simple life to me. For me, it doesn't make sense to go out and do all this stuff. So I think that's an important point. Do what makes sense. I'm going to make another video about a different topic, but I think that's all for now. Rambled in a lot of different directions, but I'd say the summary of this video is about relationships, how I show up in relationships, social pressure, social norms, pushing boundaries, being myself, friends and family.